it's Krista with knec.com. Today we are covering the heart of NAMM, which are the members. And we are at 5 Star Guitars with 15-year members of NAMM. What once started off as a small association has now grown into a large international association, which covers everything from commercial products to manufacturers and distributors. So let's go inside and meet the members, longtime members of the NAMM Association, and the top 100 winner of the NAMM retailers of last year. Let's go.
Geoff Metts.
I'm Erin Metts.
Erin Metts. And we're here at 5 Star Guitars in fabulous Oregon. We have been NAMM members, I think most every year since we started about 17 years ago in 1998. And just this last year in 2014, we were named one of the top 100 dealers in the world by NAMM, which was like a huge honor for us. And yeah, super exciting times. But yeah, it was super cool. And this year, the Anaheim show, I thought in 2015 was fantastic. You know, we bought a lot of cool stuff. We met a lot of cool people, and had the opportunity to talk with some people that we hadn't seen in a while. So it was great. Yeah.
What has NAMM done for you?
Well,
being a member of NAMM.
There's a lot of like really useful information that they provide, and a lot of great networking. And I think the trade show itself is so helpful, and I feel like I make better use of it every year. Right? The first time that I ever went was before I owned the shop. I was just teaching and working a little bit here, and it was just great to see the gear and get a chance to experience that, because I've been hearing about it forever. And gradually over the years, my role in that show has changed, and it's a lot more like meeting with manufacturers and really kind of getting the opportunity on a one-on-one basis to kind of iron out details and see how we can do better business in the coming year. So and we do more and more buying there every year too. There's a handful of pieces that we would just see it and say like, all right, cool, let's get 2 of those and 2 of those. And it's nice to be able to see it in person. Sometimes when you see pictures of products that they're introducing throughout the year, it's not as effective. It doesn't sell itself as well as having it in your hands. And I think it's that way for the consumer too, and that's why there's still room for brick and mortar stores, because at the end of the day, it's not like you're buying a commodity. I mean, all of these are a little bit different. And being able to hear them with your own ears and not just a demo on the web makes all the difference. So anyway, we're the same way. When we get the opportunity to buy that stuff direct from the manufacturer, talk with those guys and just see it, play it, feel it, it's really helpful, I think.
I think the continuing education at the NAMM show is huge too. There's so many great seminars.
Yeah, in the Idea Center they do a series of, I don't want to say clinics, but like seminars that talk about just, best practices, like how to, better run your lesson program, or, better utilize social media, or improving your website, talking about, how to analyze your store in terms of inventory control, stuff like that. It's like great, and again, like early on, the first year that I went, I would have never thought to sit down for half an hour and have somebody talk about, gross margins. But now I do, and you realize that some of the most successful businesses in the country are there, and they're basically telling you how they do it, how they run effective sales, how they, how they do what they do. So it's cool. And in 2014, we opened a second location, which was a big undertaking for us, and we were working a ton to make that happen. It was new for us, and as an independent dealer, like, there's not corporate coming in and saying, here's how you open the store and here's how you'll staff it, and we had to make that up. And then the processes for inventory in the two places was we had to come up with procedures that work. So anyway, being awarded that top 100 dealer status meant a lot because we were working so hard, and then to have the industry basically say like, hey, you're doing a good job, keep it up. I was like, oh, they like us. We're one of them, Right? It meant a lot, especially like this year, just because we were working really hard, and it was cool to know that people were paying attention.
I think socializing with our peers too, independent dealers from all over the country that we maybe only see in January is great as well.
Yeah, it was. It's nice to see those guys. It's interesting to talk with them and just see what they're up to. It was interesting. We were in Europe a few months ago, and around about the same time you guys were. And I stopped off in a music store in Vienna and talked with this guy for a while. And we might not have a whole lot in common except owning a music store. And all of a sudden, once I told him that, we sat around and talked for like half an hour, and it was fascinating. I was like, it's largely the same thing I would imagine anywhere in the world, and it was just cool to be able to share that with somebody that barely spoke the same language, but we made it work, and we were able to talk about shared vendors. They were an Ibanez dealer. It was crazy, all these awesome pianos, but then they also had Ibanez guitars, and I was like, hey, we're a dealer too, So it was cool to be able to bond like that, and even more so with. You go to enough NAMMs and you meet more and more of these dealers that are like our peers. It's cool, it's great to be able to talk with them and just catch up, see how the years treat them, All right, so here's an example of a guitar that, I had seen previously, when Fender announced it. But in pictures, it really didn't do it justice. So once I saw these on the showroom floor, I realized that this sandblasted model had a lot more relief, and it was a lot more interesting than pictures would lead on. And you can see it even more in the one that John's playing there. But this is an example of a guitar that's made in America. This is a limited run. And it's under $1,000, which to me, I was thrilled to see. That there's brand name, fantastic instruments coming out of the United States, and they're able to keep it at a price point like that. So the last few years has been like this sort of renaissance of American effects pedals. Well, effects pedals in general, but there's a ton of really cool innovation coming right out of the States, and in some cases even closer to home. All of these Catlin-bred pedals are made in Southeast
Portland.
In Portland, yeah. But we also do some stuff with Burnside and Meleco and Harbin Audio, Normandy out of Salem, and there's just a ton of really cool stuff happening right here in the Northwest. All right, so here's one of the vendors that we work with a lot. These guys are out of Central Oregon. It's called Breed Love, and they make some fantastic stringed instruments. It's their 25th anniversary this year. This is a guitar that we purchased at NAMM along with a lot of what you're seeing behind me. We do really well with that stuff. It's a cool opportunity to buy some things that, because there's not an open-ended quantity, it makes them a little bit more desirable, I guess. And on this one, we knew it would sell. It's a great guitar, but again, the significance of the anniversary model I thought was really cool. So we bought some. That's part of my job too, and try to do this at the NAMM shows to try to find products that people are going to be interested in, new stuff, whatever. But also, for guitars, if I can find a vendor that can put something in at a better price point, or something that a niche that we're not already filling for our customers, then that's what I'm there for, is to find that stuff and hopefully bring back the best of what's available for the coming year.
Hey, I'm Kevin Hahn from Opal Studio, NAMM member since 2012. The main reason I love NAMM is, you know, get to check out the latest gear and a lot of research, especially like for running the studio and cutting edge technology. Also friends, you know, networking and people we've met, you know, through the years, and it's just a great camaraderie. And one of the coolest things is checking out the new software coming out, especially Pro Tools. You know, it's like a studio staple, and seeing what they have going on. A lot of new plugins. Man, it's like Slate. You know, Slate Digital was one of my favorites. You know, checking out what they have going on there. Of course, guitars. You know, love guitars and checking out the new amps, and the coolest stuff was checking out all the pedals, the boutique pedals that are coming out. And yeah, it's just, you know, just been a fun playground of music stuff. You know, so. Yeah, that was my fave.
Has NAMM been resourceful for you?
No, totally. As far as like, especially connecting with like manufacturers and stuff, you know, like you might have questions that you know of a piece of gear you own, or you know, just sort of like, or what your concerns, or finding out what's coming up, you know, and sort of be ahead of the curve on a lot of the cutting edge technology things. But yeah, it's been also just seeing the face, you know, people behind the gear, and you know, and it's really great to meet people and talk to someone in person, you know, face to face. To hear, you know, like, you know, like just that instant, like, you know, hey, I've been wondering about this, you know,
Right.
and for them to go, oh, hey, check this out, you know, and you're like, oh wow, you know, it's like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just having that, you know. Usually, like, you're just kind of online and you just sort of, you know, ask questions or, you know, find out information online. But like I said, just having someone who's helping develop these, you know, software, or someone who's just, you know, helping, you know, develop these things, you know, and you can get the questions, you know, right away like that is just pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you totally geek out at these shows?
I do.
Yeah.
It's a kid in the candy store, you know. It's just like, wow, look at this, look at that, and just sort of. You know, I'm always amazed at like what's coming up. You know, like somebody comes up with this idea of like, oh, you know, here's this tuner that tunes a whole chord, you know, or something. You know, I mean, it just blows my mind. You know, yeah. So it's insane. It's just the stuff you see. You know, not to mention the musicians that are there too. It's mind blowing. Like,
Yeah.
like, geez, you know,
Yeah, like
I need to go and practice. You know? Yeah, it's. So for me, it's like the whole experience, you know. It's like, you know, not just the gear, but the people there and the talent there, and just that. So the whole experience, you know, is just pretty amazing.
How about the association itself? I mean, is there something that's been supportive for you, or is it just a yearly dues?
No, you know, I like the way, you know, like you get newsletters, and it's kind of cool to see that the other things that they're doing, you know, like the charity work they're doing, or the community, you know, especially for the kids and stuff like that, you know, programs. So I think they're doing a lot of good, and it's a really cool organization to be behind, you know. It's like what they stand for and things like that, you know. It's a very cool thing.
True like a sun,